in our last encounter via video, I referenced Pope Francis as speaking of the pandemic as our Noah moment, the deluge that has destroyed sin. So the question is, in a secularized society like ours, can we speak like this? Isn't this the language of a religious ghetto? Let me try to explain it, or to explain my point of view, with a story from history. Alexander the Great, the conqueror of the world at the time, reached the river Indus, and there he met a Hindu philosopher who was called a gymnosophist, a naked wise man. And Alexander the Great encounters this person and says to him, what are you doing all day? You're just sitting around not doing anything. You're wasting your life. You're a fool. And the Hindu philosopher looked at Alexander and said, what are you doing all day? You're just running after values that are no values, that are worth nothing. You're wasting your life. You are a fool. So each one of them saw the other in the light of their beliefs and of the myths in which they had been educated. Alexander the Great in the myths of the heroes of Homer, who had gone out to conquer cities and states and to do great deeds which brought them fame and reputation, and he lived in this system. And the gymnosophist in the Hindu beliefs of reincarnation and of this wish to become perfect and morally independent of suffering. So beliefs shape behavior, and behavior shapes business. So when we look at our Western culture, and we look at the business we do in our Western culture, we see that it is shaped by the Sermon on the Mount that Jesus pronounced, but he also validated it by his death on the cross and his resurrection. They were not empty words. And in the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus speaks of forgiving our enemy, of loving our enemy, of serving the poorest and those who are marginalized. He, in a certain way, sets our values on their head, and he teaches us the Our Father. And from there, three big values have emerged that shape our economic system. They're human dignity, freedom, and equality. They are intimately linked with each other. We say, we're convinced that human dignity is equal for all, at least in the minimum amount which protects each person from being abused as a mere means to achieve an end. And a consequence of human dignity is freedom. So human dignity, freedom, and equality are all intimately linked with each other. And these values have given rise to something that Theo Hobson, in his book God Created Humanism, has called moral universalism. We believe that universally these moral values protect all human beings. And this moral universalism has given rise to what we call humanism. And we can call it Christian humanism, we can call it new humanism, as Pope Francis does, or we can even call it a secular humanism, because it shapes the way we lead our secular lives, the way we lead our lives in the world. And this humanism is not identical with Christianity, but it has its origin in Christianity. We can call it the social form of Christianity, or if you wish, kind of a diet Christianity, you know, like Diet Coke, a lighter form of Christianity. But Christianity continues to be its soul and its motor. And I know this is a provocation, and that's why I want to talk about this in our next encounter. Do we really need the Christian faith to preserve, to maintain the great values that shape our humanism, our new humanism, our Christian humanism?